What's up, YouTube? Here with an updated Prophecy deck for after the next set comes out and we get some of the new support. Having seen Casey, the buddy of mine that topped at Columbus, there was a lot of controversy about what his placement actually was. He did scrape in as 8th place for top 8, but according to him, because of the guy that got cheated and cheated and DQ'd and the way top 8 worked or whatever, supposedly he was first. I don't know. I don't really care, but I really did like the way his deck was built and the way it flowed. Um, but I wanted to take that and build off of it with the release of the new support. Um, and as such, I'll just go ahead and get into this particular profile. We start off with triple High Priestess, of course, pretty much staple. I've seen people discussing builds that are almost like pure dark versions of the deck, but I kind of like this sort of chaos version. I still don't play Envoy in it, but I think Priestess is still better than playing like the pure dark version. The second boss monster that we have here is double Reaper of Prophecy. I found 3 to be a little cloggy, and because he can only activate his effects like once per turn, um, if you have more than 5 in graveyard to activate his full effect, to special summon another level 5 or higher dark spellcaster, you're bringing out another copy of himself, and then that copy doesn't get any effects, which means your only use at that point is pretty much going into Bouncer with them. Um, so typically speaking, you're dropping him at 3 or 4, um, beating with it if you have to, and then going into Bouncer. But I didn't like playing 3. 2 has been right where I wanted it to be. Double Temperance, this gets us into our Reapers and our High Priestess. You're going into High Priestess like 90+% of the time, unless it's mid to late game and you still have a Reaper in deck, where you can hit that Reaper to get your 2600, and then search out any spellbook that you need. I'm still playing the one Hermit. I've always liked Hermit. I know there's been a lot of hate towards the card, but Hermit is just really, really good in my opinion. He makes Empress live, and Empress is just too good to not play, especially when we're back with 3 Spellbook of Life. One Stoic, searches are Hermit and 2 Temperance. I didn't want to play any more than that. I needed room for some of the new support, so that was one of the cuts that had to be made. We're sticking with 2 Spellbook Magician for the searches, 2 Veilers, and 2 Trags for OTKs and such. As for spells, double Tower, of course, 1's not enough, 3's too many. Triple Secret, staple. Double Power, personally, I like 3, but without playing Breaker or anything like that, it's not necessarily needed at 3 to help get you beaters. It's really just there to really over push with Priestess, and then grab that other search, with it being searchable and recyclable. I guess 2's not particularly such a bad number to have. 2 Eternities to get back things that we banish off of our Priestess. 2 Spellbook of the Master. I really didn't like 3. The only cards that Spellbook of the Master can copy are your 3 Secrets, 2 Power, and 2 Eternities. So with those 7 targets, I mean, you could get away with 3, but I felt it just got a little bit cloggy. 2 seemed to be working really, really well for me. 3 Spellbook Life, because it is nuts to keep bringing back Priestess over and over and over again. Triple Wisdom, because a searchable Lance is just nuts. 1 Spellbook of Fate. 2's too many. Typically speaking, you're using it as a Book of Moon. But personally, I kind of hold on to it to help push for game, where I'm banishing something big by going with the 3 effect. 1 Star Hall, again, any more than that's just not worth it. And then just a handful of staples with Foolish, Reborn, Heavy, Dark Hole, Mind Control, and then I'd take 1 Magical Dimension. It allows plays like Spellbook Magician and then go into your Reaper or the High Priestess that's sitting in your hand. Compared to Casey's build, I ended up cutting the Wonder Wands to have room to play the Cephers, or Spellbook of the Master, the Reapers, and then have that room for the extra Magical Dimension. There were just cuts that had to be made, and it is what it is. As for the sideboard, 2 Jowgen. Jowgen is absolutely amazing, especially if you're pulling it off of like Tower or Star Hall or whatnot. If you're afraid of Gors or Trag, you can just summon it and then push through. Or if they're trying to go nuts, they pop off Tower or whatnot, you bring out Jowgen. pitch to blow up the field. Dragon's just really, really good. 2 copies of Kaiku. As Casey said, it pretty much gets sided in all the time, and it works really well with the main deck Magical Dimension that I'm playing. Finally, a 3rd effect Veiler. Then we are playing the Double Secret Village and Double Decree side, as well as the Double Fisher, Double Typhoon, and Double Debunk that Casey had played in his Ohio build. The extra is almost identical as well. We play Formula. We have the 1 copy of Stoic as well as Veilers. It happens rarely, but it's there. Armory Arm, Catester, Arcanite Magician with Veiler and Reaper, as well as Spellbook at Life Plays to manipulate levels and such. Stardust, Scrap Dragon, Gachi, Elf, Zenmaines, Leviathan, Empress, Bouncer, because we have Lifes and we have 2 main deck level 6s now, as well as Trags for copying levels. Big Eye, Hierophant, and finally Gustav Max. So let me know what you guys think. What have you guys done with the new support for spellcasters or spellbooks? Comment, rate, subscribe, and I'll talk to you guys later. Peace out.